This is the Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190 AM.
Those crazy nights.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Jeff Crilley Show. Anybody who's ever bought or sold a car probably knows this situation, especially if you're doing it through Craigslist or something like that. You're kind of nervous. Where am I going to meet this person? Is it safe? And my next guest, Ilya Belabragan, is the co-founder and president of Carable. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for having us. Thank you.
Now, you've got a solution to this. How did you come up with it?
Let me tell you from the start, as you described, the basic problem today with buying and selling a used car, especially if it's a nicer car, let's say it's worth $20,000 or $30,000, you will not really find a buyer out there on Craigslist because everybody is buying and selling cars on credit, right? So what do? You have to trade it in. What if you could sell your car, inspect it by a third party, let's say it's Firestone, 100 years old brand that everybody trusts. And then based on that, you can have a 3 months and 3,000 miles warranty on it, comprehensive, basically the best one you can get even from a dealer. And then finally, the big banks will lend to your potential buyers.
Wow.
Well, finally, then you can actually have that car sold and get that $20,000 or $30,000 that you actually own and don't have to trade it in. What we are doing is we're doing that every other startup right now is doing. They're opening up and connecting people. Just like Uber is connecting right now private people, right? Regular drivers to regular other drivers, right? Like Airbnb, you can go and rent somebody's bedroom if you want to,
right,
or just a spare bedroom. We want the same for the used car transaction. We want people to drive away happy.
It's a huge market too, isn't it?
It is indeed, and you'll be surprised. So a company such as CarMax, you're well familiar with them, right?
Sure.
Take a wild guess how much of a market share they have.
No idea.
What do you think? Come on.
10%?
Not a bad guess. It's actually less than 2% of the market.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And they are the biggest one around. The market is very spread out, and we do believe that the age is now for people to trust each other more, and with the right partnership and infrastructure, we make that happen.
So people come on your website. It's carable.com.
Yes.
Right? And that's Carable, carable.com. And then what's the first thing they do?
So what do we do? In any marketplace, you have the sellers and you have the buyers. If you are a seller and you want to have your car sold, it's quite simple. You come to our website and then you put in the information about your car. You're going to get a valuation just to guide you with our partner, Black Book. It's the same valuation that is used by Texas actual state to value your car when you're doing your taxes. Mm-hmm. So it's as official as it gets, but this is just to guide you. Then we're going to set you up with the inspection time at our partner Firestone. All that done on the website, or you can even do it on the mobile. You're going to get a time slot with any of our right now 133 stores around Dallas and Houston.
Wow.
So every store out there has Carable software and a tablet. So you're going to have, let's say you're going to have a time tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You come to the Firestone station. They're going to give you a coffee, and then going to take your car for a 1 hour inspection. They're going to take 20 professional pictures of the car, note all the damages, test drive it, put it all on the rack, and then the whole report is going to be there on the site that we're going to post it together with the pictures after we talk to you as a seller. Then your job is done. As a seller, you drive around your car while the actual car is getting sold online. By the way, I haven't told you the best part. You're also going to get the Carfax on your car as well.
That's
and
awesome.
We pay for that, right?
That's great.
Now, as a buyer, what do? You go to carable.com, you look around all those different vehicles, you select the one you like the most, and then you submit the bid. It's an auction format, so you bid for the car. But you know that the same car you can buy at the dealership, let's say, for $20,000. Right now, make a bid. Likely private market price is going to be $18,000. you're going to save at least $2,000. And the seller is better off because he doesn't trade it in.
Wow.
Right?
That's beautiful. What's been the reaction so far from people who are experiencing it for the first time?
We are having very positive reactions. And just one example, we sold a car recently, helped sell a car recently. Now, the seller, he recently moved all the way to New York. He liked it so much, he said, hey guys, when are you coming to New York? We hope you're going to see it soon. But he was about to get a trading price for about $13,000 for his car. And the buyer was able to buy about the same car with the same specification, the same mileage at the dealership for about $18,000.
Wow.
And they settled on a price of $16,000. So both, it's a win-win situation, but the reason they trusted each other was because of the inspection and the warranty. And finally, of course, the buyer and the seller had financing. That was an important thing. Otherwise, the buyer would not be able to actually pay $16,000, right?
Absolutely. How did you get this idea?
We originally tried to buy the vehicles online. We couldn't do it. And we're like, why can't you really buy a used car online? That should be able to done a bit more easier. Today, you think you can do it, but it's really, only you can do is you see the vehicle. But actually paying for it, getting the whole thing done, that has to be done offline. And as buying the houses, it's a complicated transaction and it's worth a lot. And we believe that with the right support that we provide, people can be much more easily doing this thing. We see an overweight of the customers within our customer pool among the women. Yes. And among minorities, among people with that have recently moved into the country, so they feel empowered by, hey, I can sell and buy my car myself, right?
Yes. Well, let's talk about the safety aspect of it. So your partner is Firestone.
Yes.
So you know that by having the deal at Firestone, you're never going to get mugged or something like that.
Of course not. We take the... So how it works is when the buyer and the seller find each other online, they don't know about each other yet. We know that we have a buyer that can pay the price. Now, afterwards, we confirm that the buyer has the funds to buy the vehicle, either through a loan with the bank or through an escrow account transaction that we have as well. Then the meeting is set up either usually at the local bank branch or at the Firestone station. We have the local teams in place, both in Houston and in Dallas. They can assist on that transaction if needed. But really, the whole thing is done on an app. We guide you through the whole experience in that sense. And also, this is the worst potential way to defraud somebody of a car because we have all the information, everything on the buyer and the seller, and really triple check the whole thing, right? Yeah.
That's amazing. And did you? When did you launch Carable?
So we launched here in U.S. in Texas about June, and right now we already have close to 400 vehicles on sale on the website.
That's awesome.
So we had some amazing response from the actual population here, but also since originally the whole thing was tested out and piloted in Sweden as well.
Really?
So, and there's a lot of cool Swedish startups such as Spotify, it's Swedish, Skype, it's Swedish. So Sweden is a really small country that's very cold and has only 10 million people, right? But we are very internet savvy.
Yes.
So we test out things there, and then we say, hey, it works. Let's go for the bigger market. What's the biggest and best market? Let's go for Texas, right?
Yeah. How did you decide on Dallas?
It's a number of factors. First and foremost, for us, it was important with good quality of cars and wonderful people, of course. Yes. So you have 3 big states that are south. You have Florida, you have Texas, and you have California, right? But everybody's doing a startup in California, right?
Right.
It's every possible crazy idea. But we said, hey, we want to make sure that if the people of Texas like this and are behind this, then we know this concept is going to be huge all across U.S.
Yes.
But if the people of Silicon Valley like it, you don't know. There's a lot of crazy ideas in Silicon Valley.
So the idea is that after you prove it here in Dallas, then you roll it out to Houston and Austin and other states?
Yes. Right now, today, we are operational both in Dallas and in Houston.
Okay.
So you can actually get your car inspected and sold through Carable in both of those cities. And then we will leverage the Firestone network to actually scale. They have 2,200 stores all across the U.S. Footprint. And we already are in 133 stores, right, across Dallas. The idea is that you can get your car sold and inspected while on the road, right? So you go to the job, you drop it off at Firestone, get it inspected, then whoops, this same evening it's already online and sold in 1 or 2 weeks. It's already sold, right?
Yes.
That's how it should be.
That's wonderful. And I know, speaking of Houston, they had all that flooding, and so
Yes.
there's a lot of talk about flood-damaged cars. I guess Carable is a solution to that problem as well.
We would love to help out more. And we have Houstonians approaching us and saying, hey, I have received the insurance money. I want to buy a car. And maybe they can't really afford the right car from the dealer. But we would encourage a lot of people from Dallas to put their cars on Carable so people from Houston could buy it because they surely do need them, right?
Yes. There were so many cars damaged in Houston.
There was about 1 million that were actually drowned cars, yes.
And a mechanic at Firestone would instantly pick up on a flood-damaged car, would they not?
We are using a red flag system. So if there is enough red flags that you kind of look across, so it's water stains on the seats, and then you have battery corrosion, there's a certain smell around the car, then they actually flag it and say, listen, this potentially is a flood damaged car, right?
Excellent.
And yeah, it's a big problem, of course.
Yes.
And we hope that the city will recover quite soon, of course.
Well, you've been a great guest, and unfortunately we're out of time. The website is carable.com. That's CARABLE.com, and we'll have to have you back.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for having us. And here's some gifts for you as well. There's some Carable swag, right? There you go.
Love it. All right, that's our time for today. We'll see you next week.